We are officially a week from kickoff, and all the SEC schools have made their quarterback decisions. Did they all make the right ones? Time to get our SEC squad together.
You're talking ball with the SEC squad. From Alabama to Tennessee, from Georgia to Oklahoma, from Auburn to Texas, it's the local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network bringing you scoops, breakdowns, and the most comprehensive preview of the upcoming SEC weekend. It's the SEC squad, and we have a seat for you. Hurt feelings and thin skin are prohibited. Squad up, you're part of the SEC squad.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into the SEC squad. Grab your favorite beverage. Join us as we get you ready for, man, all offseason been saying another week of the SEC offseason. This is the last week of the SEC offseason. Next week, we will have actual games to discuss. Now, frankly, many of them are crap, but it's fine. We will have real football back next week. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. You can join all the action at FanDuel.com to play daily dingers and make your free pick on who you think's hitting a home run this MLB season. Let's welcome in our squad panel tonight. We have got Brandon Olson from Locked On Gators. We got Jay Smith from Locked On Sooners, John Miller from Locked On Mizzou, Corey Burton, Locked On Vandy, Stephen Willis, Locked On Ole Miss. I'm Chris Gordy, Locked On SEC. We had Eric Kane in here, and he jumped out, so maybe he will rejoin us. But, guys, I want to start here. We have quarterback decisions have been made across the SEC the last handful of days. Alabama named, Keelon Russell their starter. Arkansas named KJ Jackson. Florida named Aaron Philo. Tennessee going with the true freshman Faizon Brandon. And Vandy will start Blaze Berlowitz. So I ask all you guys, of the new starting quarterbacks, which one intrigues you most?
Keelon Russell, right? Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Unanimous.
I will say this about Vanderbilt. The way it was reported, I know, right? I don't think it's over. I don't think the competition's over. The way they reported, they're like, Blaze Berlowitz will start week 1. And Jared Curtis will play. I'm like, okay. Is this thing over? I don't think it's over.
Remind me, who's Vandy's week 1 opponent just off the top of my head?
The mighty Austin P.
Okay, so to your point there, the mighty Austin P. See, I was going to say, to me, yeah, the most intriguing one was not Jared Curtis, because frankly, I thought it was going to be not Jared Curtis, and not Jared Curtis is, well, not Jared Curtis. And this does go against my off-season premise, which is I think it's more about Clark Lee than anything, this Vanderbilt program. This is a curious decision, but maybe it's just a one-week thing.
Yeah, it's kind of all over. To me, it's we know they got a good run game. We know Vanderbilt's coming in with a solid run game. Offensive line should be solid. And you would have thunk that because they've surrounded him with, I guess you could say, a safety net, that Jared Curtis would still get that. But I guess the not Jared Curtis did well enough in camp. They were like, you know what? We're just going to ride with you right now. But I thought we was going to get 3. Right. And I thought we was going to get 3 true freshmen. That was like what shocked me. Well, Keelon Russell isn't technically a true freshman. He's a second year now, right? Because I can't say redshirt freshman anymore, right?
But he barely played last year. So
but his second year, because he's not, you can't be a redshirt anymore because, that's, I guess, not politically correct anymore. Faizon Brandon getting the job, but Jared Curtis getting the job honestly does surprise me. I thought Jared Curtis was going to be the other freshman to play.
Yeah, they were even, and I thought, hey, if they're even close, Jared Curtis is going to get the nod, and that was going to be it, because you have a defense also that has legit 2 deep, and you've got safety nets all over. This is the best Vanderbilt roster that they've probably ever had, top to bottom, and I don't know. This whole situation, if you just kind of read into it, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense the way things have been reported.
Yeah, Corey, especially in the NIL era. That's what surprises me, because it's not every day that Vanderbilt gets a top 5, 10 player in the country who plays quarterback. So you'd think you'd want to keep this guy happy. Hey, I mean, good for Clark Lee. This could be the right decision. It just surprises me is my main thing. Again, especially when you kind of want to keep these young dudes happy. We saw it with Bryce Underwood at Michigan last year. I don't know if he was ready to start day 1, but when you're making $5 million, that tends to tip the scales a little bit.
One thing that's interesting is Alabama and Tennessee went ceiling, and Florida and Vanderbilt went floor. Is like a high floor on that. And to me, that feels like that should have been flipped. Ford and Vandy should have gone for the ceiling and make the play. I guess I'm so used to Nick Saban just having the game manager type out there, but yeah, the two high ceiling players, Keelon Russell and Faizon Brandon, have me super intrigued.
Brandon, is Philo you consider that the safe pick as opposed to Tramel Jones?
Who the knows? Honestly. I mean, it's like, this is the thing when we talk about the Florida Gators quarterback situation. There was nobody where I was like, that's the answer. Like that just wasn't a thing for me. I kind of went, all right, no matter who it is, I'm pretty much expecting average quarterback play this year. I think you got great offensive scheme, great offensive system, obviously great play caller. And it's just like, look, they're both going to be guys that I just need you to get the ball. Again, be a point guard, be a point guard, be Chris Paul, be Rajon Rondo. Just get the ball to the playmakers. You've got a ton of weapons. Just do that. And the thing we were told with Tramel Jones and Aaron Philo, that was, John Summerall outright said the big separator was that Aaron Philo just operated at the line of scrimmage a lot better than Tramel Jones did. I think if you watch either of them throw a football, you can see who throws a prettier ball, who's got the better natural arm. But like, if you can't operate the offense the way they want you to operate the offense, you're not going to start. So I do think that, yeah, you could say that he's the high floor because he's going to keep your offense moving. But honestly, there was no option where I was going to lose my mind and be either happy or really sad. It's like, dude, just be my point guard and I'm cool with it.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting too. I love going with Faizon Brandon at Tennessee. I mean, you recruited this kid. At one point, he was considered the number one quarterback in this past class. I think they, moved him down a couple slots or whatever, but still a super talent. And what I'm looking at, guys, is that third Saturday in October. If both Keelon Russell and Faizon Brandon start and they have a bunch of games under their belt, what does that game look like? By the way, it's in Knoxville. Last two times Bama's been to Knoxville, they've lost. So that could be the coming out party for either Keelon Russell or Faizon Brandon that game.
That could be that. There's going to be some fireworks on that one, and I'm intrigued, especially by Keelon Russell with all the playmaking ability he has with those guys around him. That's going to be a really good situation there for Bama.
Is any of us surprised that KJ Jackson won that job?
Not in the slightest.
I know nothing about this quarterback.
He's from Montgomery.
He was at Alabama. He was at Arkansas last year, right?
Yeah, and he started that. I think the Mizzou game. He got a couple. It played heavy in that Alabama game or that Texas game when Taylor Green left. But he's got it. He's got some reps. He's thrown some touchdowns. What's interesting to me though, guys, is the day Ryan Silverfield got the job. I think there were like 2 or 3 players at his press conference. One of them was KJ Jackson. So that screamed to you right there. He was going to be the guy. Even though Silverfield brought his number 2 guy from Memphis with him, a la Aaron Philo with Buster Faulkner.
Right.
KJ Jackson, I think this shows this kid might actually be pretty damn good. He can use his legs. He can use his arm. I'm intrigued by him.
And he's a big dude. Like, he's almost like the KJ Jefferson size, except for he's like 2 1/4 instead of 260. But he's a big quarterback. It's 6'4", 2 1/4. That's a big dude.
Thanks for putting that comparison in my head, by the way. There's no way I'm going to let that slip 37 times this year.
Yeah, no, congratulations. You're welcome. I try to confuse as much as possible. But, no, I thought that was intriguing, though, because Silverfield brought his quarterback, and just like at Florida, I knew Philo was going to end up getting the job. He's been with Buster Faulkner. It makes sense, even though you probably want the more high ceiling guy because you're going to get the first year as a quote unquote mulligan. I would have thunk that Arkansas would have been similar, but they didn't. So it kind of threw me off. I need to hear from Kane on this Faizon Brandon pickup. But go ahead, Brandon.
What's up?
That's the John Summerall said
that's got to be Kane.
Eligible, I'm going to be on the top of the stadium ready to do something stupid. I don't think he cares about getting the year 1 mulligan.
Fair, and I do think that you all do end up being bowl eligible easily. I just think Summerall's a really good coach in that capacity. But I figured that at the quarterback, though, you would try to just figure out which high upside guy is going to be able to help lead you going forward. But same, Philo being young, Tramel Jones being young, I guess it just, I guess it don't matter, right?
There is something.
Yeah,
in the
2027
finals.
QB might not be on the roster right now.
What'd y'all say about Faizon while I was gone?
Yeah,
We said
awful.
he was
Posed the question, which quarterback intrigues you most of the guys who won
Stinky.
the job?
Terrible.
I would assume you would go with Faizon.
Of course. I mean, it's the only answer here. Keelon Russell intrigues me a lot. Nothing about Philo intrigues me.
Okay.
Berlowitz, I mean, Corey, how long is Berlowitz going to start until they give it to Jared Curtis?
Well, based on how it was reported, maybe one game because the competition I think is still going
Yeah.
a little bit. I think they just said Berlowitz, you're the front runner right now, so you're going to start game one. I think that's kind of where they left it.
There's a
That's
lot of
what
intrigue there with
schedule it,
Faizon Brandon because, again, he is a true freshman. He's got all the tools, all the intangibles. I'm sure he'll be good. It's probably going to take a little bit to get there. Luckily, Tennessee's built. They've got a million athletes around him, a great offensive line, a good running back. So that's a good position to be in. I mean, I'm really intrigued with Keelon Russell. I think he's going to be a stud. Eventually, I think Jared Curtis is going to be good. But of course, he'll play in the opener as well. So that's kind of my pecking order when I look at the quarterbacks that were announced this week.
Yeah, and Corey, Vanderbilt's schedule, it kind of slowly ramps up to like the NC State game. I don't understand why you don't just throw out Jared Curtis against Austin Peay.
Yeah, it was the perfect ramp up to conference play. You had Austin Peay, Delaware, NC State, and then on the road at Auburn. And so I don't know. Like, there's
Is it a reward? A reward for him sticking with it? I mean, this will be his third year at Vanderbilt, right?
That. Yeah, I've heard that. He's a fifth-year guy, third year with Vanderbilt. He came over with Jerry Kill and Tim Beck, and I guess the separator. I guess we're going to hear from Clark Lee probably about it, but hopefully soon. But he's the separator. I guess was just him pre-snap operating the offense, kind of the same exact scenario with Aaron Philo. I think it's mirrored that situation where you have the high ceiling guy with Jared Curtis, and then you have Blaze Berlowitz, which is the high floor, knows the system, all that good stuff, kind of like what Florida's dealing with Aaron Philo. I think it's
Which
very similar.
I also just want to say that feels like the easiest, like, we can't even dispute you or debate you on that one. Is just like, oh yeah, the thing that nobody gets to see, that's what it is. So you don't even bother pushing back. I know he throws a better ball, but the things you can't see, that's what it is, which might be accurate, but it just
the
feels like
separator came during the closed periods, because during the open periods and everything that was reported was at worst neck and neck. But everything I saw, everything I read was Jared Curtis was the best.
It's almost like this is baseball, and they're trying not to start his service time clock too
For real,
soon
yeah.
or something. I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, back to what
an
something
interesting
Brandon was saying about playing point guard. That's actually something I've talked a lot about on my show. I think that's the baseline to be a decent quarterback in this sport, is to play point guard as a quarterback, and that just means, hey, getting into your right checks, throwing, bubble screens accurately, just simple stuff like that. And I think that's kind of in some ways never been easier to do. How do you separate yourself from that? And I think Jared Curtis is the kind of guy who clearly has the talent to do that eventually.
I just don't
let's
think he was doing
start
it
that clock
consistently.
now. To me, if I'm Vanderbilt, let's start that clock now. Let's see what we have, give him that experience, and then maybe by next year, heck, we'll be a player again.
Okay, we spent way too much time talking about the Vanderbilt
I
quarterback.
totally didisagree with you. We spent the perfect amount of
6
time.
and 6.
You could
Can I ask
More.
Brandon a question
More
in
time.
segment 2? I got here
Vandy
late.
fans
I got to
get
ask Brandon a
after 40.
question, but can I do it next segment?
Yeah, we'll do it next segment. And real quick, John, you say it may never have been easier. I mean, but look at Jackson Arnold. It was not easy to be a game manager. Who was the guy? Michael Van Buren that took over at LSU last year.
I didn't say it was easy.
Who's
I said
starting
that's
for
the
USF this
baseline.
year.
I said that's the baseline.
Yeah,
You've got to at least be able to do that.
I do like Austin Simmons though at Mizzou. Real quick, we kind of dance around it, but Keelon Russell. What do you guys think? I mean, is Bama back in the playoff picture with a Keelon Russell?
I mean, let's not get
Next
ridiculous
year,
here. Come on.
I think next year.
I need to see what the
Go
run
back to
game looks
Vanderbilt.
like.
Just kidding. Yeah.
If
was
their
gonna
run
say,
game
I
is
think they're in
existent,
conversation.
then there's a possibility. 'cause that's
It's
gonna
much
be
more about
safety
the
net.
offensive line, the running game.
Yeah. That's gonna be the most important thing.
That was so weird watching Alabama last year not being able to run.
Not be able to run at all.
Yeah.
Like, that's usually the saving grace for a young quarterback, is having a strong run game, because run games and defense travel. They didn't have that last year, and so the question's going to be, if they can run, if
Where
they
do they
if they
find
can't run, Keelon Russell's going to be in trouble.
I think
Keelon Russell can run.
they like his legs. I think
Fair.
that's why, because Austin Mack would have been the safe pick. He's been in that system going on 4 years. So,
which is wild. So is he hitting the portal? Where's he ending up next year? Missouri, y'all picking him up?
No, we got Austin for one more year. Come on.
Let the
fair
former
point.
offensive coordinator go.
all right, when we return, I'll pose the question: what, in your opinion, is the biggest question for the SEC heading into this season? We'll discuss that coming your way next. Hey, but first, I want to remind you guys about our friends over at Indeed. Support for today's episode comes from Indeed sponsored jobs. When workplace chaos hits and you need to make the right hire, Indeed sponsored jobs. They're going to help you connect employers with candidates who match specific needs like skills, certifications, location. Less time gets spent searching, more time gets spent finding the right fit. And people are finding quality hires on Indeed right now. The minute we've been talking with you, companies like yours have made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Usually the biggest difference isn't someone doing more work. It's having somebody who knows exactly what needs to happen and help everything run smoother. Go spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing the candidates who check all your boxes. And, of course, listeners of our show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. When you need to make the right hire, cut through all the chaos. This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now. Support our show. Tell me you heard about it right here. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. If you need to hire, this is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. All right, roll along your SEC squad show. And guys, I wanted to kind of leave this one open-ended, just saying what, in your opinion, is the biggest question for the SEC as this season gets ramped up. And Eric, if you want to ask your question to Brandon, you can do that as well.
Yeah, what do you want, Kane? What do you want? Just
My
go
biggest
ahead.
question for the SEC is non-game conference slate, of course. I think that's probably everybody. Brandon, real quick, why? I got a buddy. He's a Gators fan. I know it's bad taste, but it's always going to be Aaron Philo. It's always going to be Philo. Then he's like, I don't know, Tramel Jones. That's all the buzz in camp. Was there ever a thought that it was going to be Tramel Jones?
I think that it was a legitimate battle for a while. I mean, what we were basically told was Aaron Philo operates the line of scrimmage better, and that once they got into fall camp, got comfortable, and expanded the playbook more, like that's where Tramel started to maybe make some mistakes. There were a couple times in the scrimmage where he tried to snap the ball without sending someone in motion. And I mean, Buster Faulkner's going to use shifts and motions more than just about anybody. So that's the kind of stuff where you can't really screw that up. And so that seems to be the differentiator. I believe it was always Aaron Philo's job to lose, but that there was a possibility that it would be Tramel Jones.
Gotcha. Yeah, non-game SEC.
I think my biggest question for the SEC going into this season. Yeah, I think my biggest question going into this season for the SEC is, can we win a game in the playoffs against a non-SEC team? It appears that the entire goal of the committee is to make sure the SEC is matched up with the SEC so you can knock off as many of them as possible, as early as possible, and then you don't have to be concerned with them later. I want to see if we can get past that. It would be so much better if we can make sure we match up conferences with conferences, with bowl games and stuff. That way we can really see who's superior. But we need a national championship. If anything, we need to make a deep run in the playoffs and play in a title game at least.
Yeah, you guys are saying 9 games. I'm saying the question is 9 wins, as in, will 9-3 get an SEC team into the playoff? Because, let's take Missouri, for example, who is playing 5 teams in the AP top 10 this season. If the Tigers happen to go 9-3, again, just for example, I think that's a top 12 team. Does the committee think that? Is that good enough to edge out, all of the different automatic qualifiers and the seedings, that type of thing? I'm not so sure it is, considering there will probably be, a log jam of teams, quite possibly, I think, at that 9-3 mark. How that's all going to play out in terms of not actual tiebreakers, but just subjective tiebreakers with the committee is going to be really interesting.
I think that message. I think that message needs to be sent now. I think SEC
it's been sent since SEC media days. It's been all politicking, and it should be. Frankly, that's what the coaches should be doing. Because not all schedules are created equal. In our 100%. Group chat today, we all were joking about Texas Tech's schedule. It's a joke. They were a playoff team last year. I mean, we've got to have some kind of critical analysis and thinking. And I bring this up all the time.
In college basketball, we do it. We count quad 1 wins and quad 2 wins and all that. Why do we not do it in college football? Why do we sit here and go, well, 10-2 is the bar? No, and there are 9-3 resumes that deserve to be considered over, frankly, some 10-2 and 11-1 resumes that have no damn good wins on it. So we need to use critical thinking, and we need to send the message to this committee. They got to evaluate full resumes.
Just one thing to your point on Texas Tech, looking at their schedule, if they lose one game, they shouldn't be in. If they go undefeated, let them in. One game, they're out. With that schedule, that's just my opinion.
They'll still be a conference champion.
I know, but I'm just saying in terms of if there happens to be another Big 12 champion who has one loss or whatever it is, and they're tied with whatever it is, I'm saying don't let Tech in. That's all.
Well, to Gordy's point and everything, my question is the non-conference games by the SEC in September. Oklahoma, Michigan, Texas, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Louisville, even Baylor, Auburn, or Mississippi State and Minnesota. If you want a 9-3 team to get in the playoffs, those games have to be won. If it's not, it's going to be an excuse to leave them out.
Yeah, for sure. And I forget which one of you said that the SEC was going to go undefeated in non-conference, but against their non-conference opponents. But that needs to happen for sure. And if they're going to do it, if they're going to bring their dominance over the rest of the conferences and get that narrative back, that's going to have to happen. Every single person, Vanderbilt included. So it's going to have to be across the board, make a statement with this 9-game schedule. And then if a 9-3 team gets in from the SEC and they happen to just go on a run and win it all, like let's say Oklahoma is that 5th team in at 9-3 and they go on a run, that'll make a huge statement for playoff. And that will probably get the playoff expanded quicker than anything.
Yeah, the counterpoint is that if you're a 9-win SEC team and you make it into the college football playoff, you better not get your ass kicked in that first game. Just that will do nothing but fuel that fire. So you better not get your ass kicked.
Well, I guess the question is, do we want that to happen to where they say, you know what, 12 is the perfect amount. We should keep it at 12. Or if they make a run and be like, oh, we got to expand this thing. We can't be doing this. We need more teams to knock off these other 9. We got to let other 9-3 teams get the opportunity to do the same thing. Which one do we actually want, though? So I kind of don't want it to be more than 12.
Well, I think the group of 5 we've learned should only get one. I mean, James Madison and Tulane last year was an absolute joke. We'll get one charity case. All right. It's the holiday season.
Let's push the brakes on Tulane there, Gordy. Okay, let's.
I was waiting for the defense to come in.
I like Tulane too, but it is nothing but a charity case. I mean, no.
You're talking about his coach right there. You got to leave his coach alone.
Yeah. So anyway, I feel like we need to make this. And by the way, I saw somebody said we should just limit this to the 2 best teams from all the best conferences. And I said, why would you do that? And his argument was, well, like in baseball, it's the best team from each division, and then maybe a wild card or 2. I said, but in MLB, everybody plays one another. Like, it's a more level playing field than college football is, right? Like, Look at Texas Tech's schedule. They don't test themselves at all. So it's not a level playing field. Right. Just because you win the crappy Big 12, I don't know. I guess, you win the Big 12, you punch your ticket, but still, like, I just feel like there needs to be earning to get into this. We're looking for the best teams, not, you just won your division, so you're in. Like, we want the best teams in.
No pressure, Alex Glesh. Beat the Big 12 team.
Yep.
Please.
I mean, that's.
Yeah.
They got a stud Florida quarterback they got to beat first.
So, I mean,
they play Baylor first.
That's right. That's where.
That's where DJ Lagway is. I'll tell you what. You want to beat him? Just put 8 dudes in coverage. He'll throw it to you eventually. It's as simple as that. Just put 8 guys in coverage and go, and it's yours. Don't worry about it.
Well, they're playing against Auburn's defensive coordinator, and he's not going to put 8 men in coverage ever. They're bringing the house.
8 men in the box. Yeah,
Durkin's going to
engage 8.
Engage 8.
He's bringing the house
every time. I love it.
Yeah.
He's the dude on Madden that's spamming engage 8.
Will we have a player from the SEC represented at the Heisman finals?
That's a good tease. Let's talk about it when we return here on Locked On SEC Squad Show.
All right, Jay.
I charge for that.
Let's Locked On SEC Squad Show brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, if you think you know who's hitting a home run tonight, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to call your shot with Daily Dingers. It is easy to play. Just make your free pick for who you think will hit a home run in their game. If you're right, you'll receive a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the MLB season. Daily Dingers is another fun way to stay engaged with every day's games, whether you're following your favorite team or keeping an eye on matchups across the league. Every game has someone capable of going deep. I'll just put out there, who's your favorite home run hitter right now?
Matt Olson.
Dylan Dingler.
Matt Olson
Jack
or
Cagliano.
anyone playing at Coors Field.
Okay.
Jack
I'll
Jack.
go with Jordan Alvarez for the Astros, probably going to be MVP. Pete Crow Armstrong, PCA, doing pretty well too for the Cubs. But if you guys are ready to play your game, join all the action at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Play Daily Dingers. Make your free pick on who is hitting a home run, play ball, and swing for the fences over on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. All right, fellas, as we wrap things up, we did our predictions last week, but I don't think we touched on Heisman. So we'll go around the horn. Who's winning the Heisman this year? By the way, keep in mind, ESPN, their top 100 player list they just put out a year ago, they pointed out Fernando Mendoza was not even on that list. So that's how far off Fernando Mendoza was. And I think Travis Hunter, same thing. Nobody saw that one coming. So keep that in mind. The last couple Heisman winners were kind of off the wall.
Yeah.
Steven, we'll start with you.
Well, mine's obvious. Everybody knows.
Come on, dude.
But
You should have skipped him. You should have said it for him.
But I will say this: it is really cool that Ole Miss put Trinidad and Keelon in Times Square and in the Las Vegas
was pretty
Sphere as part of that. So that was pretty cool. But I think Trinidad, if Ole Miss wins 10 games, Trinidad's going to be in New York.
Corey?
Well, I picked Cade Klubnik last year, so it can't get much worse. But it's brutal. I don't know. I might go with Trinidad on this one. Just it seems like
Two Trinidads.
Yeah, I might go Trinidad here.
Brandon?
I would
Steve,
like to
sorry.
see Jeremiah Smith. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love to see Jeremiah Smith get it. He's just a dude. And I don't want to say the person that I think is most likely because I don't want to represent the school and screw him. So I will. I'm sticking with Jeremiah Smith. That's where I'm going.
You got to do it so that you can jinx it.
Who
But
are
we
you
can at least
hinting?
hope for
Who
the
are you
jinx.
hinting at? Let us know.
Dante Moore.
SEC?
It's not a bad one.
No. In the state
Arch.
quarterback.
Oh,
Mensa.
Yeah.
That's not a bad.
Neither one of us were in Mensa since we didn't guess it.
Yeah.
But
John
Brandon's
Miller, who's
talking
your
about
pick?
The mighty
You know,
Wings.
you were just talking about Jeremiah Smith. He was actually my pick last year, just especially as a value pick. I think I just loved his odds last year. Obviously, it didn't happen. I'm going to go a little bit more conventional this year, but same team. Give me Julian Sayin.
That's a good pick. I kind of thought that too. And there might be a debate, right? Like if Smith is having an awesome year, but people are going to go, oh, but Sayin's the one who made it happen. So that could be a good one.
Sure, we've seen that happen before where the guys divide the votes, like, the year, what was it, Mac Jones and Devonta Smith, and Devonta still ended up winning it. So it happens. It can be a negative, but you can still win it too.
yeah, that's fair.
Cantor?
I think Corey said it a moment ago. My guy could have went to the draft last year, probably been a top 5 pick. Decides to come back. First round pick for sure. Dante Moore. He's got to cut down on his picks. Threw 10 picks last
Agreed.
year. He's got to play better, obviously, in crunch time.
Totally
But
here for
phenomenal
that.
year last year. I think he can do a little bit of everything. I understand why Arch Manning gets a ton of hype and Trinidad and Julian Sayin and all that. But Dante Moore, I think, is the best quarterback in the country.
No Faizon Brandon a la Johnny Manziel? Like,
No, he'll be SEC Freshman of the Year for sure. Freshman All-American.
Okay.
So
all right.
we're good.
Jay Smith, who you got?
Man, I want someone from the SEC to win it. I don't know if they're going to get enough love because there's so much anti-SEC rhetoric that's out there in the world.
Rhetoric.
I really could totally see, though, that
John
Dante
Mateo.
Moore gets it just because everyone purposely doesn't want an SEC player to get it.
Ooh, bias
do y'all
against the SEC. I love it.
Yeah, they're
Do
anti.
y'all believe the rumors out there that Arch Manning has been struggling this fall?
Yeah, 100%.
If that ball wasn't tipped, I think we should find the backup.
That was
at
a
this
duck,
point.
yeah.
Come
Part
on.
of me, though, guys, thinks that's manufactured because what did we do? A year ago at this time? It was all hype. It was all building him up. I think
It was
Sark's
stinky.
trying to temper it to go, yeah, he really hadn't been that sharp. You know what I mean? Temper it so when he's awesome, everybody goes, oh, my God, look at this.
Yeah.
He didn't respond well to praise. Maybe if I just dunk all over him for everyone to see, then maybe that'll toughen him up.
Yeah, this kid sucked. He was terrible in practice. He threw nothing but wounded ducks all over the place.
Yeah, we tried the praise. Let's just neg him the whole time.
Yeah. See, if we just say he sucks, then he has a good year, then we can say, you know what? Look how great of a year he had. You guys thought he sucked.
I'd throw out Faizon Brandon. Give me like a real off-the-wall name, you think? Like Lenore Sellers or something like that?
Diego, no.
Would he be an off the wall considering he won it this time last year, like in August? I mean, I'm genuinely being serious. Like, he's a name. Everyone knows him. Everyone knows that if he ever puts it together, like, sky's the limit. Will he? Like, it would be coming out of nowhere this year, but, like, again, he's such a name in college football. Like, I guess it counts, but I don't know. Like, I want to hear somebody, like, we don't even know their name.
Would CJ? I don't think CJ Carr would be off the wall, would it?
CJ Carr's the betting favorite right now.
Yeah,
on FanDuel.
So then no.
I did not think that was going to be what I saw when I opened FanDuel. I did not think I was going to see CJ
All right,
Carr.
Probably my off-the-wall thing would be John Mateer. There's somebody that could kind
don't
of come
hate
out of
that.
nowhere. Yeah, he puts the numbers up and gets it done that way.
I mean, there's obviously a path for Keelon Russell as well.
Yeah.
If
Well,
Alabama's awesome.
And look, we know it's a quarterback award, but Byron Brown, anybody?
No.
Not on that team.
no.
Not on that team.
What
I
a
think he's gonna have a lot of
dumbass thing to
turnovers.
say, Gordy. Dumbass thing to say.
He's going to have to throw
Oh,
for
my
5,000
goodness.
yards.
Gee,
I
you
think
might
he's
as
going to be
well said
exciting.
Cade
I think he's
Klubnik
going to
at
rack
that
up the
point.
stat sheet, but I also think he's
Who
going to
would
have a
pick
ton of
Cade
turnovers.
Klubnik? I mean,
Yeah, who the hell would do that?
And
Wait, I'm
also-
just noticing
All
that
right.
Bo Jackson is 100 to 1. Man, this NIL portal thing's really
Yeah.
getting out of control.
Could
Holy
be
cow.
a Bojack.
Bo knows how-
Also, Malachi Tony is somebody that could
That's
pop.
off the wall.
He
I
was
like that
awesome.
one.
Yeah, he was awesome. Miami being the best
They're
team in that
pretty loaded.
state. Yeah.
I thought that Mekhi Hughes was going to win it like a year or so ago when he transferred to Oregon. I was like, man, that's going to be the running back that's probably going to be the nope. I guess maybe Keewan Lacey could end up just cannibalizing Trinidad and taking it as a running back. Like I would like to
think
see a
there's a-
back get it. That would be
Gordy's
great.
going
There's a
with
real
Thomas
chance they
Castellanos.
split, though.
Yeah,
They split
that's
it.
true.
All right, a couple people are going to get mad at me. What about DJ Lagway? Somebody's got to win the Big 12. Come on.
I don't think so.
That was my
You know what?
greatest. That was the
You may
best
say-
troll
let's
of
say
all
Julian
time.
Lewis.
That was the best troll.
I was
Drew
gonna say,
Mestamaker. How about that?
Houston with
Mestamaker.
Willie Fritz, Connor Wegman, the former Aggie quarterback. He could
He's
have
still
a big
playing?
year. Yeah.
Drew Mestamaker, he led the nation in passing
said
last
that
year.
one,
I mean,
yes,
he's
that
in the Big 12. There's a possibility he could do it.
I saw the other day that Max Johnson's still playing college football.
Yes, he is.
Wow. Is he really?
Georgia
Yes.
Southern.
You're 9? It feels like.
We need to do a list of best SEC quarterbacks who are starting elsewhere. I saw Dylan Lonergan got a job, former
Yes.
Bama quarterback. I mean,
At
it's
BC? Isn't he at
Is he
BC?
Haven
PC,
Jackson
right?
got a job. I don't know where
Yeah,
at, though. I
Boston
didn't read
With
the
Bill
article.
Bryant?
North Texas. I just read it. Yeah, Taven Jackson in North Texas. Yeah, he left Indiana, and he goes to Indiana early in the season, if I'm correct. So a revenge game for him via proxy. Yeah, that's actually a good one.
Yeah, he's not very good.
I
Very
didn't give
disappointing.
my pick. I'll go with Arch. I think the media hype and love will be.
That's not off the wall.
But he sucks.
It's not off
But
the
he
wall.
sucks.
I'm giving my pick. Well, I'll give
Yeah,
it.
give me an off the wall too. You gotta play that game as
Well,
well.
he said
Yeah, you
Faizon.
got-
He said
yeah.
Faizon. He's covered.
And Byron
Okay.
Brown, I gave you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Byron
You
Brown's
did say
out
Byron
there.
Brown.
That one is off the wall.
Yeah, it's like I'm tone deaf when it comes to Byron Brown. I just don't even hear that name.
Jeez. Well, let him prove all the naysayers wrong. Zach hasn't been on with us for a while. I'm going to fight for Zach today in Auburn.
Yes.
What about Gunnar Stockton? Where does he fit into this whole thing?
That's a good one.
You
Nate
could say
Frazier.
name anybody you want because we're talking about Byron Brown and DJ Lagway. Name anybody you want.
Marcel Reed.
Gio
Seriously, the problem
Lopez.
with Gunnar Stockton
Gio
is-
Lopez is my off the wall pick. To win
Gunnar
the
just
Heisman.
doesn't
There you
doesn't
go.
play in the offense to get the counting stats.
Yeah.
And even if they go undefeated, people will be like, "Well, it's just the team around him." That's just going to be
Yeah.
the narrative, whether it's true or not. With
I'm
Gunnar.
gonna tell
He'll
you
get
that right
touchdowns.
now.
He just won't get the yards to get him there. Yeah.
Gunnar will have 12 rushing touchdowns this year. Count 'em.
12.
That's not going to be enough.
Wow.
He needs 20 at minimum.
That's a lot.
20.
He needs 20. Well, that's the thing about it. If you look at the way the Heisman has been done every year, it's been a guy that puts up absurd numbers usually on a team. If either his team's undefeated or they put up just absurd numbers for that position for that season. Like Jayden Daniels, which we're no longer able to use number 5 anymore. He went out there and his numbers were absurd. The numbers he put up there at LSU, and they were 9-3. So it was like, okay, that makes sense. His season was great. Mendoza, 40 touchdowns, how many picks? And like he had like an additional like 5 or 10 rushes. He had an absurd season. You got to have the number. That's what hurts Gunnar Stockton. So I get that point.
Hell, Stockton
I'm curious
had
if they
10
can just do it
rushing
with Nate
touchdowns?
Frazier, but
On like 380 yards, he must have been the Tom Brady sneak guy. That's all I
Hey,
can say.
right, but
That's an
Bobo's-
insane ratio.
He ran for almost 500 yards and 10 touchdowns last year. Like I mean,
Almost
I know he's
400,
mobile.
not
Tennessee
even
played,
400.
but like,
Vic,
He is one of the toughest dudes I've seen. In
He's
football.
red
yeah,
zone.
he's really tough.
No
That's
doubt
what it
about
is. He's
that.
He would be the
super
toughest
tough.
No
guy
doubt
in the
about that.
conference. Yeah.
Yeah,
one of the most
Steven,
underrated quarterbacks in the country for sure. That I like that pick in terms of off the wall because nobody would ever consider him a Heisman front runner. Right
Yeah,
now.
if,
one
if you're
more-
going to be dumb, you got to be tough. Those are the rules.
one more off the
Fair.
wall, Brandon.
He's
Jackson
dumb in the
Dart,
sense
you've
of
seen
putting
it.
himself
You've
in
definitely
bad
seen it with
positions.
Jackson Dart, haven't you, Brandon?
I
Brandon,
have.
Florida
Thank
goes
you.
8-4.
Thank you.
Jayden Baugh, Heisman finalist. How about that one?
He's a running back that I think could do it. I could see him going for
Okay.
1,800 yards. He's literally like carrying the team. Why not?
No.
I don't see it.
Like, what do we do? 8 wins? You think they're going to give the Heisman to a running
No
back on
chance.
an 8-win
Maybe
team?
if he has 3,000
If he runs for 2,000 yards, they will.
3,000 maybe.
Sure,
Well,
but he's not going to do
Ashton
that.
Genty didn't get the
I mean,
Heisman.
fair.
Right.
but We're trying to be absurd here, Brandon. Let us have this moment. I think Bob will be great.
I can see that. Jeez,
Hey
I'll
now.
tell them to edit
Hey
it.
now.
That's fine. But
There
oh
goes our
my
clean rating.
goodness, my lord!
Our clean rating is out the window.
Hey, remember to follow and subscribe to your favorite SEC show. We'll be covering your favorite team every day throughout this season. Don't forget, I'll have you covered with the entire conference every day with the Locked On SEC. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day.
Oh, I'm crying. Thank you, Brandon.
Sorry, David. Jeez.
My goodness.